بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Inshallah, tonight we will recite from Surah Al-Fath, what's remaining of it, then Surah Al-Hujurat, Qaf, Al-Dhariyat, Al-Tur, Al-Najm, Al-Qamar, inshallah. And then tomorrow night we will start with Surah Ar-Rahman bi-Idhnillahi ta'ala. As you can tell, the surah are starting to get very, very short, a couple pages max. We will be changing surah now. And of these beautiful surahs is Surah At-Tur. Surah At-Tur. And in Surah At-Tur, ayah 25 onwards, actually a little bit before that, the general theme of Jannah comes up. And in particular in Surah At-Tur, there's very vivid imagery, almost like Allah Azza wa Jal is painting a picture of what Jannah looks like. And to pick one ayah from an ayah 25, Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَأَقْبَلَ بَعْضُهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. In Jannah, once people have reached, they will be talking amongst themselves. And this is like when you get into the event, right? You have the social hour, people are just chatting. All right, what's going on? How are you here? When did you make it? I thought you weren't coming. يَتَسَاءَلُونَ, they're talking amongst themselves. قَالُوا, the one thing that they all will resonate with each other. إِنَّا كُنَّا قَبْلُ فِي أَهْلِنَا مُشْفِقِينَ فَمَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَيْنَا وَوَقَانَا عَذَابَ السَّمُومِ. They will say 5 things that led them to Jannah. 5 things. I'm only going to mention 2. 5 things that they'll say. The rest, inshallah, you all will look up. Ayah number 25 onwards, inshallah ta'ala. They'll say, إِنَّا كُنَّا قَبْلُ فِي أَهْلِنَا مُشْفِقِينَ. We always used to be in a state of ishfaq with our families. What is ishfaq? Generally, if you pick up a translation, it'll say fear. But that's a huge problem with translating words, especially from a language like Arabic, because there's a lot of synonyms, meaning similar words, but each word is not exactly the same in Arabic. There's like a slight element change to it. In English, it's fear. And fear is very simple. You're scared of something. But ishfaq, Al-Razi rahimahullah, he says, ishfaq, it's not just fear. هو الحذر مقرونا بالترحم. He says, it's fear, but there's an element of rahmah in it. Al-Qurtubi, he says, there's an element of love in it. Meaning what? It's not the scary type of fear necessarily. It's almost like the fear that you have for a young child. It's full of love. It's a positive type of fear. So what does it mean? إِنَّا كُنَّا قَبْلُ فِي أَهْلِنَا مُشْفِقِينَ. We had this positive fear, if you want to call it, within our families or with our families or about our families. You can say it all those 3 different ways. What does that mean? A, about our families, meaning we actually cared about the Islam of our families. And that's extremely important. Because we live in a very self-centered society where you care about your personal hobbies, personal goals, personal achievements, personal retirement. It's all focused on the self. But Allah says, قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ. Allah says, along with yourselves, you are responsible for your family, for your children, for your siblings, for those around you. There's a responsibility. So A, they used to care, how's my child's education like? Is this the right school? Are these the right group of friends? How can I build healthy habits for my child in my house for their Islam to become healthy and confident in them? That's 1. 2, إِنَّا كُنَّا قَبْلُ فِي أَهْلِنَا مُشْفِقِينَ. Al-Alusi rahimahullah, he says that it's very interesting because when you're with your family, you're generally safe and relaxed. You can open up. What that also means is that your true colors come out in front of your family and those around you. Sometimes we're very humble in front of everyone else. Oh, I'm so blessed. I'm extremely humbled. But the moment you walk in to your house, everybody knows how humble you really are. So it's not just that outside, in front of everyone, they said we're humble, we're very blessed. No. Genuinely, when they're at home with their families, they're completely relaxed. their natural state, they're humbled. There's an element of fear. فَمَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَيْنَا. And so they say, even though they're in Jannah, they don't say, I made it to Jannah because of X, Y, Z, all of these actions that I did. All of my taraweeh, and I finished my khatam, and I was there on the odd nights, and I was praying qiyam. I gave my zakah, gave zakatul fitr, I donated to Gaza, Sudan, locally, school, masjid. I did everything. They're not saying any of that stuff. They're saying, Manna Allahu alayna. Allah just did us a huge favor. We didn't deserve it. Allah just did us a huge favor. But now that they're in Jannah, you could say there's no reason for them to be scared of speaking about their actions. But it's just become such a habit for them to be humble that even when they're in Jannah, they're not giving themselves the credit. They're saying, Allah just did us a favor. Why is that so important? This is very important, brothers and sisters, because especially in Ramadan, what happens is that no matter how much we've fallen in the year, generally almost everyone, and this is a sign of khair in the ummah, everyone gets up and tries to be better. But one of the pitfalls is when you start doing more, very quickly your nafs can delude you into thinking that you're doing great and you're killing it and you're better than everyone else here. Because look at you. This person wasn't even here last night and you're here. So the idea of that I'm better, it starts to creep in. And that idea can wipe out all of the deeds. So the actions are very important. But the attitude to how we go through those actions, the attitude behind our fasting and giving and praying and sadaqah, that behavior, that attitude, that sense of mushfiqeen, there's an element of fear. Maybe Allah won't accept. I hope Allah will accept, but I can't say for sure. So I'm going to keep making dua. Allah, please accept. Allah, please forgive my deficiencies. And that's the secret to the people entering into Jannah, and we ask that Allah Azza wa Jalla make us from amongst them. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala